Welcome back to the Market Wolf, where I give you the best bear case, the best bull case, and my opinion on the S&P 500. And we have some major developments here. Remember, we are using a new analytical device to sniff out and detect. It is the OBV volume indicator. And if you've not hit that like button yet, please hit that right now. It helps with the algorithms, gets my video out there, brings me more subs, and that means I can keep doing my best for you. If you haven't subbed yet and you're returning, hey, go ahead and sub. Now, this is important. Remember, I left off with this yesterday. I was posting pictures on Webull. We have broken down out of this symmetrical triangle on the volume indicator. That could mean, number one, we're going to break down and we're going to have some bearish continuation here. Perhaps this is some kind of what we're looking at here is an M-top reversal and we just lose our volume. But you got to keep in mind that one man's M-topping reversal can turn into another man's W reversal and break bullish. So that is something we've got to keep an eye on. Maybe we can figure out a little bit more about this as we look at some of our other information. I want to take you to the U.S. economic calendar for tomorrow as we're opening the week. And first, I just want to bring up the fact that everything from last week was pretty much what everybody expected and what was laid out. If you go back to Friday and take a look, the numbers were not that far off. And I think people might get over some of the Fed comments since nothing has changed drastically from what the Fed has been saying anyway at this point. And then if we look at Monday, nothing is scheduled, nothing is happening. So it kind of makes you wonder, did we get a lot more volume exiting the market because it was Friday, it's the end of the day, you don't want to leave your money sitting on the weekend in times of uncertainty, fear is still out there. Maybe this is a fake out to the downside and we see money come back in, but this is a very important indication. It's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 now. And of course, I have all three cases up here for you. I've got my case, the bear case, and the bull case for tomorrow. First, I want to show you that we are inside of a symmetrical triangle right now, and we're really right on the edge of breaking out of this thing. We could have a measured move all the way down to, roughly where I was pointing out earlier last week to the 402.02, or we could have a measured move up to roughly 418.12, somewhere in there from the break up or break down, if that was to break up or break down. Notice on Friday we had a lot of exiting volume, although that seems to be potentially winding down right now. And again, the way the volume came in, the way it's been coming in, we've essentially been flagging. You see, we get it exiting, it comes in, exiting, it comes in, exiting, it comes in. No decisive pattern that you can make out with volume where it's just like, oh yes, we're definitely going to have a break up or we're definitely going to have a break down. So that is something to stay aware of as well. I'm going to tell you right now that I think that the bear case, of course, I've got my bear case drawn out to that broken move there, and the bull case to that broken move up where I told you those two prices. That's where the measured move is as well for the bear and bull case. My case is in purple, and you can see I have us flagging out essentially where we are, although we do drop some, and we could actually drop more, but I don't think so. I would be shocked if we open to a gap down in the morning that's past 409.13. It can happen. Look, you gap up, gap down, all kinds of crazy things can happen in pre-market. I have not even checked pre-market, so that's something that we may need to take a look at right now, though I never do, because when I do, boy, it changes on a dime. So I just get the sense that we are basically going to flag more, and we're going to flag up, and possibly by the end of the day, we've made it to $413.40 on the S&P 500. All signs, when you look at everything, we're not overbought, we're not really, we're kind of oversold. Let's take a look at the daily, because I think the daily is really going to give us more information than anything else right now. Of course, we do have the bearish break there, but the EMA lines have been doing that. We break bull, we break bear on that 20 and 50 day. It's been going back and forth on the 30-minute now, and that's why we've had that flagging as well. And the market is really just trying to decide where are we going to go from here. Now, you have to keep in mind we're also approaching some fib lines here, and you can see on our previous daily, of course, we're down from the previous day, and you could look at this as perhaps a little kind of like a bull pennant here, although we did have that huge spike of incoming volume there, on June 22nd. So it's just interesting to see where this play out. This blue fib line right here, we're hitting that tomorrow. We are hitting that tomorrow. Let's go back to the 30-minute. And, we're starting to kind of wind down on the momentum to the upside to the daily, so it seems, but, that could change. I think it's mostly just going to flag a little more to the upside tomorrow. That's just my opinion. But we do have to keep in mind that we are going to hit this blue fib line here. And perhaps with my case, you would end up getting a W reversal here first instead of as far out as I put it. And maybe on the final leg of that W reversal, if it were to be here instead, it would kind of take off from the 409.77 across that fib line and take us up to the 412.14 or even to the 413.40 right away and then flag out for the rest of the day. So there's several different ways, of course, that this purple case could play out, but that's generally where I think we're going to end up EOD Monday. So that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm thinking right now. Lots of other information here we could go over. I do want to say one more thing. I think that if you do get this flagging and we don't have a break out of this symmetrical, an obvious one that just breaks up hard or breaks down hard, we could get a little breakdown. We could get a little break up out of there. Maybe up to, if it breaks up, I would say to the 412.14, right? But ultimately, you would see, I think this is going to end up being a larger symmetrical. We may end up with, a larger symmetrical as price action plays out that perhaps looks something analogous to this. And then we would really have to keep an eye on this to see where this is going to break down. But we need to see some more flagging, some more coiling, and we have to get some more points in there to really be sure about that, right? So, and then of course, you would adjust, obviously, depending on where price goes. But I'm thinking that's a possibility, and that will tell us if we're going to have a further break up or break down. As we approach the long-term case here, I've got to say, let me say one more thing. I take you down to the 5-minute here, because remember, I'm saying on the long-term case, we're moving up, and I'll get to that momentarily. But I want to take you to the 5-minute because I want you to see, on Thursday, you had a ton of exiting volume on the 5-minute. That's got to be institution or a number of other things, but it's a lot of money, okay? We had more coming in Friday on the 5-minute. So that's something to think about there. Excuse me. No, that's not Friday. This would have been Wednesday. This would be Thursday. This would be Friday. So this past Friday, we did have a massive amount of exiting volume, but it was not as much as incoming. We have a little bit more of that incoming still hanging out there on that 5-minute. So, but generally you look at the rest of the trading day on the 5-minute, and you can obviously see we had a lot of exiting Friday, a lot of exiting. But that doesn't mean we can't continue to flag. We still don't have a decisive pattern on volume that we can just say for certain, yes, we're about to break up or we're about to break down. And that would make sense with a continued flagging pattern here where we would coil up into some kind of a symmetrical with these 2 points from the 406.91 and roughly the 418.58 being the end to end on that, and then whatever plays out here would give us the rest of that larger symmetrical, and then maybe we see a break up or break down in a big way on this blue fib line here. But let's take it back to the 30-minute, right? I just want to see where that blue fib line is on the 30-minute because it should be in the same place, but right. Yeah. So, we could have a big break up or break down there and on that 30-minute time frame, and then that could propel us somewhere. I get the sense that there could be another fib retracement circle in here someplace that I haven't found yet that I could go back and look for that would give us some information on this area here, maybe even here. As to in regards to our long-term case, remember I've said it's possible we are going all the way up to about 426.91 only to maybe get rejected, right? So, and then that might give us a third leg down. So that's kind of the long-term case we're looking for. We're also looking to see if we're going to put a double bottom down here at some point at the 398.19 before we spike up further. It doesn't even have to be there. There could be a nice double bottom at 404.66 that would give the market confidence and really boost it up for a further rally here. So that's something to look for as we're moving up and continuing to flag out. Maybe we do get a breakdown and then we double bottom there and then we get a massive break up, have a lot of volume come in and we exhaust ourselves up here. That could be a potential long-term case. Maybe even when we hit this fib line, we don't even make it up this far to the whatever it was, about the 426.66 or somewhere in there, right? If we don't even make it up to the bottom of that old descending channel, we could hit this fib circle first. We could hit it at any point through here, honestly. It depends on price action. But if it was on its way up, maybe somewhere in between about 418.12 and 423.16, you could see that as a breaking point, and we break back down, and maybe we don't even make it all the way up to the bottom of that previous descending channel. Maybe we don't complete that larger cup, right? So maybe that's as far as we really get. And, that could even play out at the 418.83, to be honest. You could see a rejection at 418.83, roughly, and that would be the bull case for tomorrow, too. And then maybe that's as high as we go and everything just falls apart, So that's a possibility as well, because overall there's just not good news in the market. And, the question is, how long can we really move up? We've been flagging for a while now. Looks like it might continue into tomorrow. That's your best bear case. That's your best bull case. I am the market wolf. I got to tell you, even with my case, it's a 50-50 shot. I'll tell you that right now. I could be very wrong about tomorrow. And I'm going to let you know up front when we're in situations like that. If I'm really, really confident, I'll say, yeah, I think this is definitely going to happen from now on. And I think if I call it right, I'm going to be honest with you, it looks like it's a 50-50. And right now the market is looking like a 50-50. And what I've noticed is when the market is looking like a 50-50, it continues to flag. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Please subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you next time on The Market Wolf.